When you look at Micah Parsons, as great as he is, I'm talking about a phenomenal football player, a phenomenal athlete. He still doesn't know how to rush the passer. He doesn't have good technique.
Now, we know Jalen Hurts is the leading candidate for the MVP award, but Micah Parsons, the linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys, has come out and questioned whether it's Hurts and his skill set or it's the system that is making him an MVP candidate. What is it, my brother?
It is the system, and I think he's right in saying that it is the system, but I think he's also wrong. It's almost like sometimes when you call your Uber X driver your chauffeur, it's like, you're right, but you're right, but you're wrong.
I understand this.
You understand what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So, yes, it is the system. I think Nick Sirianni, the offensive coordinator, the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, is putting Jalen Hurts in a system that maximizes his potential. But here's what I do have to say to you, Micah Parsons, and I'm not speaking to you, I'm talking to Micah Parsons.
I'm the vessel.
But here's what I have to say to you, Micah Parsons. You at Penn State, great football player, but you had 6.5 sacks over your entire career at Penn State. Now you go to the Dallas Cowboys, and you're the second coming of Lawrence Taylor. You are the best pass rusher in football. How is this happening? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. He has went to a system. He's coached by a guy by the name of Dan Quinn, who I know very, very well. He is a pass rush phenom. He is a guy who's all about pass rush. He has a defensive line coach by the name of Adam Dirty, who we know very, very well. And these guys put him in position to succeed. They turn him loose on the quarterback, and this has allowed Micah Parsons to become the player that he is now. So now Micah Parsons, who is a product of his system, is pointing the finger at Jalen Hurts and saying, you're a system player. I got news for you, buddy. You're a system player yourself, Micah Parsons. Everybody is a product of what system they are put in. Sirianni has put Jalen Hurts in a perfect position to succeed the exact same way Dan Quinn has put Micah Parsons in a perfect position to succeed.
They play each other on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Has he put a target on his back and the defense as a whole?
He has put a target on his back, and he is doing it against the wrong people. And this is the reason I say this, is because when you look at Micah Parsons, as great as he is, I'm talking about a phenomenal football player, a phenomenal athlete. He still doesn't know how to rush the passer. He doesn't have good technique. So whenever he's going up against an offensive lineman who is as athletic as he is going to struggle. Whenever he goes up against a guy like a Trent Williams, or when you saw last week against the Houston Texans, Laramie Tunsil.
He disappeared.
He disappeared. And now he's going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, who have Lane Johnson. They have Jordan Mailata. These are two outstanding offensive tackles. And you've done all that talking. You got to go in there and play against those guys, and you're going to struggle against the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. I do not like this for Micah Parsons. He needs to be very, very careful about the things that he says.
I agree with that breakdown, man. That was slick.
You like that?
I do.
I appreciate that. Now, we also picked up the Cowboys last week, but they nearly beat up themselves, just punching themselves in the face, Jay Bell, against the lowly Houston Texans. Let's talk through that key goal line stand here, Jay Bell.
Oh, man, this was key, right? Big play right here by the Houston Texans. A mistake by Dak Prescott. You can't throw an interception right here, but the defense stepped up. Goal line stance. This is when you showcase who you are. Are you physical? Can you step up to the challenge? And they did that. We've been in this situation before, Osi. That questions your toughness down here, and you have to respond right here. And this play right here, Osi.
It's just ridiculous, man, by DeMarcus Lawrence, man. He made a play a couple of weeks ago against Detroit, one of the best goal line plays I've ever seen, and here he does the exact same thing, knifing through the double team, slicing, trying to get there, tripping up the offensive play. Great play by him.
Hey, man, coming up big right here, my man Anthony Barr with the stop, but you know what's impressive? What do you do when you have the opportunity to respond? Let's check that out right now. Dak Prescott, he was struggling all game, Osi. Wasn't his greatest game, but when it counted, when the money was on the line, he delivered. He came through. Nice hole shot in the middle of the field. Watch him now. He's poised. He's patient. He knows how to move in the pocket and deliver. He takes off. This was a very smart opportunity to run and get out of bounds because you know you got to stop the clock. And everything he was doing was correcting his earlier mistakes, throwing into cover two right there. That is the only place you can put that ball right there towards the sideline and going in. Look at him right over the middle in traffic, Osi. He's got a beat on what the defense is doing, and in that running game seals the deal. We know they are one of the best teams at running the football. You see the result.
No question, Jason. I love the way this football team is playing. A couple of years ago, this is a game they would have lost for sure, but they found a way to respond. And we also talked a couple of weeks ago about their transition, how defensively they're playing with their offense, how offensively they're playing with their defense. These two people are married together, and this is a very, very scary football team, J. Bell.
Can we trust them, Osi?
I think we can trust them. I think we can. There's no question about it. If you look at the way this team is playing defensively, right, they play very, very well. Offensively, they are balanced, right? So, of course, you can trust them going into the playoffs.
Ooh, it's going to be good.